Hi, welcome to Love Unfiltered. I'm Dwayne.
And I'm Sherry. And today's topic is, what is your role in marriage? Do you know your role in marriage? Know your role. So, Dwayne, do you think we go with.
This is going to be fun. So,
Right, okay, hold on. So, wait, do you think we have traditional roles in marriage, or do you think we're more of a modern day roles, or are we in between?
we are not we are not the traditional.
You don't
No,
think so?
no, no.
I think we're pretty traditional.
I don't.
I
I don't.
think you don't think we go with the man is the king of the castle and the woman is there to support.
In your mind you might think that I'm the king of the castle, and
uh,
in my mind I may think I'm the king of the castle, but it doesn't always work out that way.
okay, so what do you think the role of the man is in the marriage?
The role of the man, I think, in the marriage is
Hmm.
to provide,
Uh-huh.
protect,
Okay.
and I think
Uh-huh.
those two are the is the man's biggest role.
Okay. So you said the man's role is to provide and protect.
Correct.
Okay, and I agree with that.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So is that the traditional? I think
Right.
traditionally those are the right. And
Right.
so
And the mother is to be the nurturer, that
right,
we take care of the kids.
right.
But now the women also provide.
But you see, if we're talking traditionally,
Uh-huh.
I'm thinking the mother takes care of the not only the kids, she takes care of the home, she takes care of the cooking, the cleaning, she takes care of her husband.
Okay,
And
so,
there we
okay,
go.
okay, so
There we
okie
go.
dokie, okay.
All right.
So now we have more of a modern take then. Or I think we're still in between. So I believe I'm serious. Why you looking at me?
I'm smiling because I think we have more of a Sherry's take.
Okay, so I do believe in traditional
Mm-hmm.
that you're the provider, you're the
Mm-hmm.
protector. So
Mm-hmm.
because Dwayne was in the military, and so we would move every 3 to 4 years. So you were the main provider.
Mm-hmm.
And then whenever we would transfer to a new duty station, of course, you would already have a job, and then I would have to find a job.
True.
So I've always looked at you as the provider and of course definitely the protector.
Mm-hmm.
But ladies, I also once we had kids, I also expect you to help with having to
Oh,
share the responsibilities of the
oh,
kids.
absolutely. I mean, there's
Like
nothing to me. There's nothing like a at-home deadbeat dad.
right,
So yeah.
right, right. And I can say that he's always been active in raising our sons. However, because you was in the military and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you was working crazy shifts and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that, sometimes the responsibility might have fell more on me at times, especially like when you were out to sea and stuff like that, like on the deployment, things like that.
Right.
But when he was home, pretty much share the responsibility.
Right.
I think we went more 50-50 once you were at home. Like,
Right. So remember, we've been at this almost 31 years.
right,
Okay. So to talk about knowing your role as the husband or the wife, you know, I think that this is something prior to marriage or even during the marriage.
right,
These things are going to change, right?
right,
So it's constant conversation about roles in a marriage.
right. And we did discuss because he knew he had to make allowances in his military career that he wanted to be with his family. And so he was like, I'm gonna have to turn down certain jobs
Right.
because I I want to keep my family intact.
Right.
And so he knew he could have went further with
Right.
rank
Right.
if he would have did more sea duty, but then
Right.
that would have been more neglecting or being away from his family more.
Right.
And so he chose not to do that. And the
Right.
same with me, I knew that I wasn't going to be able to work steady jobs and have steady retirement and all this kind of stuff because we were moving every 3 to 4 years
Mm-hmm.
for a while,
Mm-hmm.
for a while until we finally, stayed static.
Right.
Right.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm all dressed up today. I just came from church, and my wife was like, "Hey, we're gonna do this thing."
Right.
So, yeah.
And I'm dressed casual because it's first Sunday, so he the trustee. Ah! But yeah, so we're in the middle between traditional and modern.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So I still think of you as the head of the family, so that's traditional. Now, we still discuss what we're going to do, like decisions, major decisions, and things like this.
Right. Right.
It's not like he's just like, I'm the man of the house, and what I say go, Sheriff. We're gonna do this. No, it's not
No.
like that. It's not
No.
like the 50s and the 60s,
Right.
in the
Where I come
70s.
home and I expect to have dinner on the table at 4 o'clock in the evening.
I
Yeah.
expect it too,
Oh,
but
stop.
needless to say, we both go hungry. No, and so
Yeah.
that's something you have to work out in your marriage. What is going to be your role? And your role will change at times because, especially, like sometimes I'll say we were 50-50 when we were both working. I felt it was 50-50. But like when I stayed at home when we had kids, like I would stay at home for about a year, and so then it was just like, oh my gosh, I'm like a housewife. I'm cooking. Or do you think I cooked more?
Maybe.
Uh,
It's so many moons ago. I really don't
okay.
remember.
Okay, but I was at home with the babies and taking care of the babies and cleaning the house. And so you really didn't have to worry about that because I was at home all day, only for a year. Because after being at home with the kid for a year, I was like, oh, heck no, I'm going back to work.
Right. And then, talking about knowing your roles, I don't mind cleaning the house.
Right.
I don't mind washing dishes. I don't mind cooking. I don't mind doing laundry.
And his cooking
So
tastes better than
so
mine.
so I can do all those things
Mm,
just fine. My cleaning is different from her cleaning.
right.
I move furniture out of the way when I clean. She
All
kind
right.
of move around the furniture.
Right, but and I like to work outside, so I don't mind cutting the grass. I don't mind pulling weeds. I don't mind. Right, he doesn't like it. I like to be out there in the sun. I like being in the yard doing yard work. So some of the jobs we do, we wouldn't
Kind of have
consider.
that flip,
Right,
that reverse effect.
right.
Yeah.
Now I don't cut the front yard. He do the front, but I cut the backyard. Right.
Right.
So some things like that. And then I still expect him to do some of the traditional things like the fix things around the house or to hire the people to fix things around the house.
Mr. YouTuber.
Right. So, I still believe in some of the traditional things. And of course, I can fix certain things too. But I let him fix it so he can
I don't
feel
know
like
what those things are.
I let him fix it because
I don't know what those
he
fixer
the
things are
man.
that
Because
she.
he the man.
Mm.
So just remember.
I need something in my coffee cup.
Well, I have something in my coffee cup. Water. So, ladies and gentlemen, you decide. It's what works for you. Don't let other people tell you, girl, he should be doing this and he should be doing that, and he ain't no man. If he ain't doing this, as long as you and your husband or you and your partner have decided on the roles you're going to play in a relationship and you living up to the roles that you guys have decided on, then it's fine. Now, if somebody's not happy with the role in a relationship, then you guys need to talk and
A
decide.
conversation really needs to be had before before it becomes an issue.
Right.
It's going to become an issue if it reaches that point.
Right. So what we determined from our marriage is that I think it's traditional modern, and he doesn't think it's traditional
I
at
think
all.
it's modern traditional.
Okay. And see, and I'm good with that. And I think we still try to do 50-50. We don't do no 50-50, huh?
No, not necessarily.
Oh, okay.
You know, my money is her money, and her money is her money. That's kind of how that goes. Because she handles finances and all of that stuff.
But that's another episode when we talk about finances. So Let me know, what is the roles you have in your family, with your husband, with your wife, with your spouse, with your partner? Is it similar to ours? Do you think the man is the king of the castle and the queen is the or is it vice versa? Just drop it down in the comments below. Remember to like this video and share it, and have a glorious day.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.